Under the golden hues of a setting sun, a grandmother and her granddaughter kneel in their terraced fields, their hands stained with earth. The air is rich with the scent of fresh Napa cabbage as they carefully fill woven baskets. The grandmother's eyes twinkle with pride, her wrinkled fingers brushing dirt from a perfect head of cabbage. "Today, we gather for kimchi," she whispers, her voice carrying the weight of generations. The granddaughter, her small hands trembling with excitement, feels the promise of tradition in the crisp autumn air. In the quiet of their humble kitchen, the grandmother pours coarse sea salt into a wooden bucket, the granules sparkling like tiny jewels. The granddaughter watches as her grandmother submerges the cabbages in the brine, her hands pressing down with practiced ease. "The salt draws out the bitterness," the grandmother explains, her voice a gentle hum. The granddaughter leans closer, mesmerized by the way the leaves wilt under the weight of time and tradition. A question lingers on her lips, why this jar, this method, but for now, she simply listens. The grandmother traces the cracks of the earthenware jar, her fingers lingering over faded calligraphy. "This jar belonged to my mother," she murmurs, her voice thick with memory. The granddaughter touches the cool clay, imagining the hands that shaped it, the kimchi it once held. Firelight dances across its curves, casting shadows that seem to whisper stories of resilience and love. For a moment, the past and present blur, the jar a bridge between generations, its imperfections a testament to survival. The grandmother's eyes drift closed as she recalls her own childhood, a smoky kitchen, her mother's hands moving swiftly over cabbages. The air had been thick with the scent of garlic and fear, the war raging outside. Yet, in that dim space, kimchi became a lifeline. The granddaughter, sensing the weight of the memory, asks softly, "Did they eat kimchi even when food was scarce?" The grandmother nods, her voice barely above a whisper. "It was all we had." The grandmother sets a single bowl of kimchi on the worn wooden table, its vibrant red a stark contrast to the sparse room. "We shared this," she says, her voice steady. The granddaughter studies the bowl, trying to imagine a time when a bite of kimchi was a triumph. A faded family photo hangs crooked on the wall, a silent witness to hunger and hope. "But how did they make it taste good with so little?" the girl asks. The grandmother smiles. "Love was the secret ingredient." The grandmother grinds dried chili peppers in a stone mortar, the rhythmic scraping filling the kitchen. Garlic and ginger join the mix, their pungent aromas mingling with the earthy scent of the mortar. "This," she says, her voice proud, "is the heart of kimchi." The granddaughter leans in, her nose wrinkling at the spice. The grandmother chuckles, offering a taste. As the paste touches the girl's tongue, her eyes widen, fire and history exploding in her mouth. The granddaughter coughs, her face flushing from the heat of the paste. The grandmother laughs, a sound rich with memory. "Just like me," she murmurs, handing the girl a dipper of water. The steam rises between them, carrying the scent of generations. "Will I make kimchi like this one day?" the granddaughter asks, her voice small but hopeful. The grandmother's eyes soften. "You already are." With careful hands, the grandmother folds the kimchi into cabbage leaves, her movements slow and deliberate. "You'll teach your children, too," she says, guiding the granddaughter's fingers. The girl nods, her heart swelling with the weight of the promise. Together, they place the wrapped kimchi into a woven storage box, its fibers woven as tightly as their bond. The jar awaits, ready to cradle their legacy. Months pass. Snow blankets the village, but beneath the earth the kimchi ferments, a silent alchemy of time and patience. The granddaughter sneaks glances at the buried jars, her breath forming clouds in the cold air. The grandmother drapes her shawl over the girl's shoulders, her touch a silent reassurance. Together they wait, the moon casting silver light over their shared promise. At last, the jar is opened. The grandmother lifts a glistening piece of kimchi, its red hue vivid against the simple dish. She offers it to the granddaughter, their hands, one young, one old, brushing as they share the first bite. The flavors burst, spicy, tangy, alive with memory. "Just like my mother's," the grandmother whispers, her eyes glistening. In that moment, the past, present, and future merge, a taste of love that will never fade.